We're inside today because, I just walked quite a bit. Well, not like too much, only like 3 miles. But, also because it's windy outside and a little bit rainy, and there's a tornado warning. Yeah, so we're not going outside because it might rain on us. The wind isn't really a problem at all. It's really just the rain. Rain plus anything is bad, in my opinion. Well, not everything, but things. So, today I had my driving instruction class thing. I made a short on it of how terrible it is and how I was scared. And it was just a very, very, very bad time overall. I almost died too. But yeah, not much else happened today really. I just kind of existed today. Watched some Vsauce as always. Then did the instruction thing. Came home and didn't do much else aside from the walk. Yeah, I was confronting my parents again, or dad, not parents. And one thing I find kind of annoying is they call me judgmental, and there's two problems with it. The first problem, I get my judgment from my dad. He influences me the most. He judges people constantly. Yet for some reason, whenever I do something that he does a lot, because he influenced me, I'm the problem. Like, I'm trying to be less like him because of how many bad things he influenced me with. But I'm always the one who causes the problem, and I'm always the one getting judged, ironically, for it. So, pot calling the kettle black. And second, the things I judge him for are just confrontations. Ironically, mainly about his influences on me. I confront him about small things and large things, all the bad things he does, and all the traits he has that I don't want to be influenced by because I don't want to be like bad at all. So when I call out these things, if they're minuscule enough or often enough, then they call me out for being judgmental. So, just overall, wrong. Like, yeah, is it wrong that I want to stop you from doing bad things? Because A, they're sinful, B, they're just bad and can be annoying to other people, and C, you're making me into that kind of person, which I don't want to be, because it's bad and it's, it's bad. As mentioned in my last walk and talk, bad things are bad, and I don't want to be bad because that's bad. I mean, hell, that's half what I really do all day, because I don't talk to people and I don't have anything to do and I don't go anywhere really. So most of the day, all I'm trying to do, if I can't do anything, is just improve myself. And I can do that through knowledge, my mindset, and my physical form, which is why I basically just work out and watch educational videos all day, because that's kind of all I could do. I'm just sitting in my little capsule, which is my room, and improving myself as often as possible, which is one reason I think so often, because you don't have much else to do aside from think. Because if you're not watching YouTube, well, even then, because it incites thought, in some people at least. I'm thinking as often as possible, really. That's why I realize so much, and I don't know if my dad just, like, has raised to be the way he is for so long that he just doesn't consider change, and he needs me to tell him bad things are bad and confront him about these things, or if he's just busy enough to where he never considers it and he's just thinking about other stuff and doesn't care about improving minuscule things, considering the fact that they're making me a worse person. I don't know. I don't know the reasons behind a lot of things, but everything has a reason. So, those are two things I say a lot. Everything has a reason, and perception is reality. Two very good quotes. I don't know if everything has a reason is necessarily a quote, more of a, what would it be called? A term? There's a reason to everything. There's a reason behind everything. I don't know what the exact wording is. It could probably be varied, because it's not like word to word. It's just kind of, it's general. Stuff has reasons, things, reason. We reason, actually, because that's a verb too. And you'll be surprised at how many verbs are nouns and vice versa. Like, you can just look up any noun and it's a verb. Like, the word weather balloon is to make something into a floating device for measuring weather. We made it up, and that one's probably not real. Actually, it could be. Maybe it means operate a weather balloon. You're weather ballooning. There's just so many. It's funny, because the way it happens is I ask the definition of a word on my Echo Dot over there, and she says, as a noun, it means yada yada. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then as a verb, it's like, wait, what? To book? Oh, actually, that makes sense. Book is a word. Fan is a word. And you may notice I'm just pointing out things in my room currently. So, to poster is to put up a poster. To chair I don't think you can chair someone. Alexa, what is the definition of chair?
A chair is a furniture piece that provides seating and back support for one person. It typically has 4 legs, a seat, and a backrest. Chairs come in various designs and styles, ranging from traditional to contemporary. Chairs are used in homes, offices, classrooms, and other settings where a comfortable and supportive seating option is required.
Well, she didn't give me the definition. She gave me probably like a website or something that explains it. Typically says the definition of this is, or something like that. I wanted to sprint a lot today on my walk. The entire time I was just kind of thinking of sprinting. My hands were twitching. I was breathing heavily. I was focused on locations, and I was imagining sprinting because, Lord, I don't know if it's the adrenaline from sprinting that like gives me a sprinting addiction, or I just like velocity so much. It's almost like an escape of sorts, you know? Also, sorry if my whistling S's are very frequent. It's really hard to control them. I have figured out sort of how to control them once, but it's really forceful and strange. So, sorry if they're annoying. But, yeah, I think it's like sprinting is an escape, and really any form of speed, because essentially all human life and actions are confined to a limited speed. Of course, some things you do fast. You could type fast, but that's over here. I mean, fast, even fast stuff like typing is fun. It's fun to go and type fast, like, ooh, man, I didn't miss any words. That's cool. Or just moving really, slow, smooth, fast. It's fun to do things really quickly. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but like, people who don't like to walk quickly and do things quickly, I don't really understand. Because they're like, why do you have to be so fat? Like, the person I know, Milan, she's like, you don't have to be fast, and she walks slowly, and she just moves slowly and does things slowly, and I don't get it, because A, it burns calories to move fast, B, it's more efficient and trains you to be fast when you need to be fast, C, it makes you like healthier and stronger because you do certain things like speed walk, it's just stronger than walking casually, and D, it's fun, right? So not only is it beneficial in pretty much every way, I can't think of a reason, like a logical reason to be slow, unless there's some sort of requirement to be slow, or like you're insanely tired and going fast would mess something up. So going fast, it's just kind of always good, and obviously it's more efficient. The faster you go, the faster things get done, and then you can do more things, and if you do those things fast, then you get more stuff done overall. Being fast is fun. But yeah, as for moving fast, you don't really do that, except for when you can. So when you can, you move fast, and it's like, oh, yeah, you're breaking free, you know? You're this little bubble of slow-moving stuff. Sometimes you move a little faster, you jump forward, you hop, you drop down something, you walk around, you do a little dodge, but then you get to sprint, and it's just breaking out of that and going fast. Same thing with driving fast. It's, all of driving is just kind of draining. You might accelerate a little bit or do a little swerve, but then you get to hit the gas from zero, and it's like, you're just truly breaking free from that. Speed is fun. That's one reason I like the XR-71. It's the fastest air-breathing, I would just say fastest aircraft in the world, because the X-15 I don't really think counts as a plane. It's just a missile, but the explosives are swapped out with a cockpit. So yeah, speed is fun. Speed. Gotta go fast. I am speed. I am speed. Meow. This guy's a total Lightning McQueen. That should be made. Might actually be made. I don't know. But yeah, go fast, people. Speed up, speed up, speed up. And of course, if you're stressed, I guess it's good to go slow. Being rushed and going fast are different. If you're intentionally going fast, you can be focused, locked in and doing things efficiently. But if you're being rushed, it's just like you're freaking out because you're going faster than you smoothly can operate. Smooth operation. Smooth operator. If you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't like being rushed either. I don't think anyone does. I mean, why would anyone want to go beyond standard or beyond natural? Well, supernatural, I guess. So that's not really supernatural, but, going beyond their, what would be a good word? Not their natural, I guess it is a natural speed that you're going beyond, but going beyond their comfortable, well, even then, because if you're going fast, are you necessarily comfortable? I guess you can be, but like, what's the point between super focused and doing things efficiently and doing things too fast? Like, what would this point be? Really, really efficient. You're not really comfortable, and you're not natural. You just, your smoothness limit. I don't know. Can't think of a word for that. It's a strange concept. But yeah, if you go beyond where you're able to operate smoothly and efficiently and it's just chaos, then that's when it gets stressful and you shouldn't go too fast. But that typically comes from another source, like someone screaming at you to go faster. And then you have racing, which is literally just your job is to go fast. That's literally how you make money and live. Your entire life is just speed. If you don't go fast, you lose. Races are kind of an interesting concept if you think about it. I've always found some sports interesting. Like, who initially thought, I get the idea, like, it's athleticism, but like, who thought, hey, I'm gonna go from here to here, and then you do it, like, you'll start at the same time, we'll finish at the same place, and whoever gets there faster is the winner. It's like, oh, okay. And now we have NASCAR, and we have F1, and drag races, and foot races, and horse races, and bike races, and literally every form of transportation has a race. I don't think planes do, though, unless you count, like, historical races, like the SR-71 kind of dominating everything. But there's not, like, one-on-one races for planes, I don't think. But aside from that, kind of every mode of transport has a race. And it's just literally who can go fast, and not even just who can go faster necessarily. I guess the average, you do have to go faster on average, whether it's a couple of feet of sprinting or many, many miles, like tons of miles sometimes. Your average would have to be faster than the other average, otherwise you would lose. So, yeah, who can do this the fastest on average? It's just kind of a fun concept. I mean, that's how a lot of sports formed, like who can do this the most, like javelin throwing. Who can just throw this stick really, really far? I'm guessing that one originated a long time ago when people used spears for hunting, so they said, hey, let's throw the spear all the way over there. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to throw it farther. Watch this. Yeah. And they threw it further. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, watch this. And now we have javelin, Olympic javelin, I think. And discus is just, let's throw this disc really far. I don't even know what that one came from. People throwing chakrams or something. And then you have, like, swimming, which is, okay, that's a race. You have weightlifting, of course, which is literally just dedicate your life to being strong, which is kind of funny. And sumo wrestling, which is literally just dedicate your life to being fat. Obviously, there's technique involved too, but like that's the thing you have to do the most. Just be fat and then learn how to slap people away out of a little circle. So kind of strange. And then you have more standard sports, but if you describe them, they're weird, like soccer. Who can run around this rectangle and kick a ball into a rectangle? And then you have this guy who tries to stop the ball going into the rectangle. And they're at opposite sides of the rectangle. I mean, there's a lot of rectangles and circles. Like basketball, people are on a rectangle and you have to get a circle into another circle. And on the back of the circle, there's a rectangle you can bounce the circle off of. And then you have volleyball where there's a rectangle and there's a rectangle in the middle of the rectangle you have to hit a circle over. And in golf, you're just hitting a really small circle into another slightly larger circle over a massive geometrical shape, whatever they're called, natural shapes. And then in baseball, you have to, baseball's a little weird because that way you have to hit a little circle. Well, first of all, a circle is sent to you, and then you have to hit that circle somewhere in, I don't think there's a name for that shape because you have two straight sides and then a curve. So it's like a pizza slice shape, whatever that would be called. So hit a circle somewhere in there, further the better, and further away from three little people in that shape, the better. And then you have to run around a tilted square, which you could argue is a rhombus, but it's not really a rhombus. I mean, by definition, it is a rhombus, of course. Technically, squares are rhombuses and potentially trapezoids and rectangles and other shapes, so that's fun. Look that up if you want, but I doubt you will. And let's describe another sport. Darts is throwing a stick into a circle, but technically you're trying to hit rectangles on a circle, unless you want to try and hit the one circle on the circle. Technically, there's two circles on the circle, I think. But overall, you're trying to hit a specific rectangle, so that's kind of funny. Bowling is sending a circle down a rectangle to hit sticks. Football is, this one's fun. You're throwing not a circle, for once, even though it's technically still called a ball, in a rectangle. And during one part of the game, which is kind of how it got its name, that rhymed, the foot part of it, you're trying to hit this shape into an incomplete rectangle. So, sports should be called rectangles or circtangles, because it's just a bunch of rectangles and circles, and occasionally some weird things like a football or a bowling pin, or the baseball, whatever thing, I know that the diamond is obviously what the rotated square is called, but the area you can hit the ball into, I don't know what that's called. Obviously we're like outfield and infield combined, but the shape itself. What's another popular sport? There's probably an obvious one I'm missing. Oh yes, everyone's favorite sport, curling. You're sending a circle down a rectangle to hit other circles in the middle of a circle, and then there are guys who can use their little rectangles to alter the rectangle to make the circle go into the middle of the circle and hit the other circles. Now arm wrestling, that's just arms, but less of a sport, like slapping. Polo is using creatures to use little cylinders. Actually, that's a fun one. Cylinders on the end of cylinders to hit circles. And I know technically I'm saying circle a lot and they're technically spheres, but whatever. Oh, hockey, there you go. That's a rectangle where you have to hit a circle with sticks that are weirdly shaped into a small rectangle. What's another sport? Lord, I'm trying to think of some. It's kind of difficult because they're all so similar. I think I got all the major sports. Am I missing a very blatantly obvious one that isn't just a race? I feel like I am. What am I missing? Crap, what am I missing? Let me think. Tennis, you're hitting a circle over a small rectangle in the middle of a circle, which is similar to volleyball, where you hit a circle over a rectangle in the middle of a rectangle. But volleyball is a larger circle and a taller, or rather higher up rectangle in the middle of the rectangle. It also has a smaller rectangle overall. You also have similar ones like speedminton and pickleball and badminton. So badminton has a high rectangle, unlike tennis, which is a low rectangle. Now that I think about it, badminton is just volleyball plus tennis, kind of. So yeah, sports, circles and rectangles. And then occasionally some weird things like the baseball thing and the football or the hockey stick. But overall, just a bunch of circles and rectangles. Lacrosse, using sticks with weird shapes on them to throw circles into rectangles on a rectangle. Who decided that every game court has to be a rectangle? Why not squares or circles? What's wrong with those? A circular arena would be kind of cool. Like sumo wrestling, where two circles try to hit each other out of a circle. Or, well, wrestling has a ring, but it's a square. So, well, that was a fun, walk and talk. So, God bless you. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And as always, adios, mi amigos, mi amigas, and all my friends.